Ever sit down to code, spend 3 hours researching, and end up with a blank screen and a headache? Yeah, me too. I used to think being a coding machine meant grinding until my eyes bled. Turns out I was doing it completely wrong. Here is the real blueprint. Part 1. The 20-minute rule. Okay, first things first. Everyone loves to give the advice. You have to code every single day. And that's true. But nobody tells you how to make that sustainable without hating your life. Here's the thing. Motivation is a liar. Motivation tells you, I need 4 hours free and a perfect cup of coffee to start coding. But discipline? Discipline is happy with 20 minutes. Here's my first practical tip. If you don't feel like coding, don't try to code for 4 hours. You won't. Instead, set a timer for 20 minutes. That's it. Just 20 minutes of working on your project. No YouTube, no Instagram, no research. 99% of the time after those 20 minutes are up, you'll be in the flow and you'll keep going. And on the days you don't keep going, you still coded for 20 minutes. That's a win. It's like tricking your brain into doing the work. Part 2, build, don't tutorial. This is the part where I might hurt some feelings. If you want to be a machine, you have to stop the tutorial addiction. Look, watching someone else code is a spectator sport. It makes you feel productive, but you're just a passenger. You're watching someone else drive the car. You don't learn the roads by watching a taxi driver. You learn by getting lost and running out of gas. A coding machine is not a machine that consumes code. It's a machine that produces it. So here's the practical shift. Next time you watch a tutorial, pause it every 3 minutes. Don't just copy what they did. Change it, break it on purpose. If they build a calculator, you build a calculator that insults the user when they divide by 0. Make it yours. You know you're a real developer when you spend 4 hours fixing a bug, and the fix was deleting one equals sign. It's like spending all day looking for your glasses and they were on your face. Except the glasses are a semicolon and your face is line 247. Part 3. Read code like a newspaper. Machines don't just write, they observe. If you want to level up fast, you have to start reading other people's code. I'm not saying go read the Linux kernel right now, you'll have a stroke. Go to GitHub, find a popular project, not to use it, but to look at how the sausage is made. Look at how they name their variables. Look at how they structure their functions. I call this the newspaper method. Good code reads like a newspaper article. The headline, the function name, tells you what happened, and the details, the code inside, tell you how. If you open a file and the function is called process data, red flag. That's like a newspaper headline that just says stuff happens. Reading high quality code is like a cheat code for your brain. You start to unconsciously absorb the patterns. You'll start writing cleaner code without even realizing why. Part 4, the debugger is your friend. Machines don't get frustrated, we do. But we can act like machines when things go wrong. Most beginners, when they see an error, they panic. They change random things hoping it works. Don't do that. That's like trying to fix a watch with a hammer. Learn to use a debugger. Seriously. Console.log is fine for a date, but if you want to get married to your code, you need to learn to set breakpoints. Step through your code line by line. Watch the variables change. When you actually see the moment your variable turns from a string into a number and breaks everything, it's more satisfying than solving a mystery novel. And honestly, half of being a great programmer isn't about being good at writing code. It's about being really good at fixing the bugs you wrote an hour ago when you were being stupid. Part 5, the art of Googling. Yes, it's a skill. Let me let you in on a little secret. The best engineers in the world don't know everything. They just know how to find everything. Googling is not cheating. It is a survival skill. But there is a right way and a very wrong way to do it. The wrong way is typing "my code doesn't work" into Google. Yeah, good luck with that. The machine way is to copy the exact error message, remove the parts that are specific to your computer or file names, and search that. You are not looking for someone to fix it for you. You are looking for someone who had the exact same problem 6 years ago, got roasted in the comments, and then posted the solution. Respect that person. Learn to steal their answer and make it your own. Also learn to love Stack Overflow. It is basically a support group for people who hate themselves, but in a productive way. Part 6, explain it to the rubber duck. This is going to sound ridiculous, but stick with me. Go buy a rubber duck, or an action figure, or a potato. I don't care what it is. Put it on your desk. And when you get stuck, when your code is doing the absolute opposite of what you want, you explain it to the duck, out loud, line by line. I know you feel stupid talking to a toy, but here's what happens when you do that. In your head, everything makes sense. In your head, the code is perfect. But when you have to actually verbalize it, when you have to say, this function takes the number, and then, wait, no, it doesn't. Oh, that oh is the sound of you finding the bug. It works because you are forced to slow down. Machines run fast, but they run in straight lines. Your brain jumps around. The duck forces you to think like the machine. And honestly, the duck is a better listener than most of my friends. Part 7, take care of the meat machine. Okay, last one, and it sounds cheesy, but I promise it matters. You are running the most important piece of hardware in the world, your body. You cannot be a coding machine if your brain is running on 4 hours of sleep and 6 cups of coffee. You will write garbage code. You will introduce bugs that tomorrow you will hate today you for. If you want to be productive, if you want to actually solve problems fast, you need to sleep. You need to walk away from the screen. Some of my best solutions Emotions come when I am in the shower, or walking my dog, or staring at a wall doing absolutely nothing. Your subconscious is a beast, but it only works when you stop feeding it stress. So go outside, touch some grass. There will be plenty of time to be inside staring at a screen. That is literally our whole lives. But treat your brain like the expensive computer it is, or it will blue screen on you in the middle of a deadline.